That's right, folks. This is Robert McClellan back with another mix session live for you. This is part 2 of the Connor Cronin song, Leave the Whole World Blind. And we're going to be flying through this because we really got a lot accomplished on the first one. Apologize for the mix-up in streams today. And there's been some schedule changes and stuff like that. Don't worry about it. It's just typical Robert being fly by the seat of your pants kind of guy. So in today's mix session, we're going to be finishing up this mix in part 2. Let's just go ahead and hop right on over there. Now, if you are coming here from the first stream that we were just talking about, we will still be having the listen together at 2 p.m. today. So you definitely want to join in on that. That's going to be all of the submissions from September. So everyone that submitted a song in September will be covering their songs, listening to them, giving some professional feedback on those, and then we're going to go a step farther and before the end of the month, pick a winner for the same thing that we're doing here today. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this mix. I'm going to kind of skip the formalities today. Most of you already know what this channel is about if you're already here. I do want to go ahead and real quickly, though, say thank you to these individuals before we get into the mix, because without you guys, none of this would even be possible. So thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate all of your help, whether it be on Patreon, YouTube membership, or if you have become a VIP member. Now, as I stated before, VIP members get the most value for the money. So if you want to support as well as get a ton of value, hop on over there and check what that's all about. The link is in the description if you want to find out more about that. So let's go ahead and dive into this mix today and finish it up. I don't think it's going to take very long, so that's why I figured I would just do a real quick stream to finish this song out before we hop on to our listen together here in a little bit. That'll give me a little bit of a break in between to have some lunch with my family, and then we'll get at it. So let's see where we left off here. This is what we got. Okay, so one of the first things I want to do is I want to automate the bass levels down as the song starts just a little bit too hot. Turn them down by about 6 dBs. This should give this portion of the song a little bit more of a boost. A little bit more of a shock to the ears, which is what I think it's looking for. we go. Much better.
We can feel it in the air. We're falling apart. Fear is setting in.
Okay, so the next thing I'm wanting to hear is more of this kick. Not so much the beater head, but I'm wanting to hear the thump of the kick. So I'm going to go ahead and try to tune that in there. Of course, you guys can't see this because my mug's in the way. But I'm just boosting a little bit at 65 hertz. Going to cut off at 57. Shave off any of that low end that I don't want. I just want the thud. And then, as typical, at 400 hertz, I'm going to dip out. Just using some stock EQ plugins here, nothing crazy. And I'm going to shave off everything above that. Let's see how that sounds. Much better. We'll see what it sounds like in context with all this other stuff. Much better.
We can feel it in the air. We're falling apart. Fear is setting in.
All right, next thing I want to do. These are just like little bitty touch-up areas, nothing too crazy. I'm wanting to... There it is. I want to take a little bit of spiff on this snare drum. And I'm going to go with... Let's try boost fundamental. See how that works out. There we go.
Or we could build a wall, keep them apart, out of sight and out of mind. 20 stories.
What is up, Mob? It's good to see you and DJ all up here in the chat. As much as I like what Spiff just did, whoa, that was weird. As much as I like what Spiff did, I'm going to, actually, this is a mono track that I've got interleaved to stereo. What is up? Thank you so much, Mob. Appreciate that. Mob just lit the room up. Oh. And I have my wife calling. Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're live on the air. What's going on?
I don't think I have time for Cracker Barrel.
Okay, I've already ordered just wings.
And it's on its way?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Chat with you later.
All right, love you.
Will it be there at noon or?
Yeah.
Okay, love you, bye.
Love you. Ladies and gentlemen, my wife on the phone, and the room is lit up like a disco ball. Thank you so much, Mob. I think I'll just go ahead and leave it on this time. All right, so with Spiff added to this, and this actually interleaved back to mono like it should be. That's what I was looking for, that snap. But I want to take that a step further. I want to add a little bit of saturation to this snare. I'm going to try some trash too. And I'm going to try trash because I hardly ever use it and everybody says it's amazing. So let's see. I'm getting more and more used to the fact of trying to use different things. Because if you guys have, hey, any little bit helps, man. I appreciate it, Mob. Actually, it was Mob that said, hey, why don't you start trying to use some different stuff, old man? Of course, he didn't say it quite like that. He was nicer. Broke Down Factory. This sounds cool. Let's see what this sounds like. Ooh. Okay, so let's go with here we go. Let's try this. Hey, that's kind of cool. That's what I'm looking for right there. So what I'm trying to do is get just a little bit of grit up underneath that snare drum. Not only to help it poke through better, but to also sort of get it to where it has a little bit of character and fits the genre of the music a little bit better. Okay, I lied, Mob. I am going to turn the light off. It's distracting me. I keep wanting to dance. No, I think you all know better than that. Wait a minute. Will it even let me turn it off? Oh, okay. Evidently, it won't let me turn it off. Interesting. Well, then I'll just have to do the old manual. There we go. Anywho, this is not the song contest. This is the mixing of the previous song contest. Here at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to hop back on here and we're all going to listen to the submissions for the September song contest. So if you got something in there and you wanted to get it heard, make sure to tune in then. You can always come back later and watch it as well. But all right, let's see what this sounds like in context with the mix now, because I've added some trash to it and a little bit of spiff. I wanted to get that snare drum to really pop through.
We can feel it in the air. We're falling apart. Fear is setting in as Paris burns. The talk of change is spreading on the wind. We're feeling it now. The effects of turning a blind eye to the crowd. We need to redefine the borders, tear our fences down.
Nice. Very subtle.
Or we could build a wall, keep them apart, out of sight and out of mind. 20 stories told, nothing will harm those safe on the other side. We could assemble an army, ignorance is pissed, I'll march happily to the end. It's happened before, sooner.
Okay, so what it did is it really tightened up the snare quite a bit, actually. And then it just made it to where it wasn't quite so ringing. If you remember, this is what it sounded like before. Oops, didn't mean to open that up. Doesn't sound bad at all. Just had a little bit of a ring to it. Introduced spiff and trash too, and this is what I got. A little bit more controlled, so, and it also has that little bit of trash tone underneath it. Let's see what this. Oh my goodness, that might even been better. All right, one. Let's see how that sounds in context with the mix.
There has been a second night of rioting in France after two teenagers were killed in an accident following a police car on Sunday.
Okay. It is clipping a little bit. I'm fine with that. All right, let's see. Yeah, I just tried to boost that kick earlier and it didn't work. I think it's because I got everything else boosted now. So we're going to use some nano pulse on the kick.
Turning up
second night of rioting in France after 2 teenagers were killed in an accident involving a police car on Sunday.
Okay, now I'm going to go back to that portion where the sort of like the turnaround there, I guess you call it like a bridge. And I'm going to automate that kick drum down a little bit in that section. It was just a bit too much.
The cracks drift apart along dividing lines where the seams no longer meet, making chasms of these city streets. And I'd rather go out fighting than admit defeat.
There has been a second night of rioting in France after 2 teenagers were
Yeah,
killed
it's much better.
in an accident involving a police car on Sunday.
Ici à Villiers-le-Bel, la commune qui sa deuxième de violence.
No one I've spoken to here today really expects tonight to be peaceful. The Prime Minister promised that justice would prevail.
Why we don't have the truth? Just that. Say the truth. Say that they are citizens of this country. And
Why do you think
people
this
just go back home.
disconnection has occurred? Why do people feel not part of France? Many of these people are from Arab or North African origin.
Because
who
since
arrived.
30 years,
Why do they
nobody
feel
thinks
so
to create link
alienated?
between the ghetto, that where people live, and the center.
You would describe this as a ghetto.
Of course, we describe it since a long time. Women are in the ghetto trying.
All right. I do apologize. I'm trying to shove food in my face at the same time. Mob the Gamer, that's exactly how I just used it. Literally. Just slapped it on here on the kick drum to manipulate it, get it setting in the mix a little better. Yeah, I'm telling you what, this song has come a long way, baby. And I'm still mixing into the T-Rax 1 limiter, so very cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play this back from the beginning to the end. This is part of my 15-step mixing process. And I'm not going to touch any faders. I'm not going to adjust anything. I'm just simply going to take notes about what I hear. Got to get a pen and paper here. So I have a pencil, a little index card. This is going to allow me to write things down that I hear in the mix as it's playing through. Not going to touch anything. In fact, I'm going to be eating my hot wings while I'm doing that so that I can, therefore, not be paying attention to the music as a visual aspect. You know? This is eating with Robert. So as I listen back to the mix, with no visual representation of it, I'll be able to hear it, much like an individual who has lost their sight. Their ears become more keen. I'm going to remove myself from the visual aspect of it, listen to it all the way through, and write down exactly what I feel like needs changed, go back and fix it, rinse and repeat until it's done, and then I can officially say, yes, this mix is done. So, microphone will be muted so as not to hear lip smacking noises. We'll listen to the song back all the way through, and here we go.
the borders, tear all fences down. Or we could build a wall, keep them apart, out of sight and out of mind. 20 stories tall, nothing will harm those safe on the other side. We could assemble an army, ignorance is pissed, I'll march happily to the end. It's happened before, sooner or later this society is going to war. The cracks drift apart along dividing lines, where the seams no longer meet, making chasms of these city streets. And I'd rather go out fighting than admit defeat.
There has been a second night of rioting in France after two teenagers were killed in an accident involving a police car on Sunday.
Policier à Villiers-le-Bel, la commune vit sa deuxième nuit de violence.
No one I've spoken to here today really expects tonight to be peaceful. The Prime Minister promised that justice would prevail.
Why we don't have the truth? Just that. Say the truth. Say that they are citizens of this country. And
Why do you think
people
this
just go back home.
disconnection has occurred? Why do people feel not part of France? Many of these people are from Arab or North African origin.
Because
who
since
arrived
30 years,
Why do they
nobody
feel
thinks
so
to create link
alienated?
between the ghetto, that where people live, and the center.
You would describe this as a ghetto.
Of course, we describe it since a long time. Women are in the ghetto, trying to create link, trying to say to the people, don't use violence, use the right to fight against discrimination.
Okay. There's definitely some things that I hear. Yeah, the dynamics. The dynamics are going to be a little bit squashed in the song anyway, just given the genre of music. In fact, I'm actually being a lot more tame than what I could be. If you would go back and listen to anything by Green Day, fly that into your DAW as a stereo file that's mixed. Holy smokes, it's hot. And there's no dynamics, hardly at all. So, basing my mixing decisions off of that, knowing that Connor was heavily influenced by them and other bands such as NoFX and who were the Misfits, some individuals like that. That's actually helping to determine the varying levels of mix decisions that I'm making. So when I went back, did my listen through, it appears to me that the kick in this portion actually needs turned up a little bit. In fact, I'd like to turn it up from here on out. I think would be wise. And that's just going to be by only a few dB. That should get that to come through a little bit better. And then the lead guitar out. He does these like really cool, crazy harmonic things going out. I believe it's right here. So I just want to make sure that I'm accentuating those properly. because they kind of got a little buried there. Just not turned up at all, actually. All right, let's see. I'm going to play it from this section on and see if that fixed anything there. Now, Mob's saying he wants me to boost the kick. He said it's really buried in there. He can barely hear it. Now, from my listening standpoint, and that's usually where sometimes some of this stuff can be a little subjective, because from my standpoint, in my headphones, it's sounding right about where I'd like it. So I don't know. Are you listening through headphones, or what are you listening on? Because that will really make the difference. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a listen to this through here real quick.
There has been a second night of rioting in France after 2 teenagers were killed in an accident following a police car on Sunday.
La commune vit sa deuxième nuit de violence.
No one I've spoken to here today really expects tonight to be peaceful. The Prime Minister promised that justice would prevail.
Why we don't have the truth? Just that. Say the truth. Say that they are citizens of this country. And
Why do you think
people
this
just go back home.
disconnection has occurred? Why do people feel not part of France? Many of these people are from Arab or North African origin.
Because
who
since
arrived
30 years,
Why do they
nobody
feel
thinks
so
to create link
alienated?
between the ghetto, that where people live, and the center.
You would describe this as a ghetto.
Of course, we describe it since a long time. Women are in the ghetto, trying to create link, trying to say to the people, don't use violence, use the right to fight against discrimination.
Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to automate the kick back down during that ending portion there. And we'll just take it back down to kind of where it started. See how that sounds? Awesome. All right, I'm going to call this mix done. And now the next portion of this, which for those of you who are mixing for clients, the next portion of this is actually the biggest portion, and that's where you send this off now to a client. You ask the client, okay, here's what I've got you. Here's my creative input into the song, but where do you want to see it go? And then they will give you the feedback that you need going from there. Because honestly, at the end of the day, this is all about them. It's all about their song. So I can get it mixed to where I think it sounds awesome. And then they might come back and say, hey, the guitar's too loud. It's not loud enough. I'd like to hear some more beef in this and that. They can give me that. And whenever you when you win the mixing contest, it does come with, 3 revisions. So, yeah, Connor will have 3 different revisions where he can kick that back 3 different times and say, okay, I need you to fix these things. And usually I'm able to nail it on the first revision, especially if they have a notepad or something like that where they can write stuff down. And then they can give me some feedback that way. So for those of you who are mixing for clients, make sure that you're providing enough information whenever they get it, and make sure that you know, when you send that email out of here's the first pass at it, and now I'm ready for revision 1, then you can say, you know, okay, well, give me as much information as you possibly can, write down notes, timestamps, Actually, the last time I worked with Connor on the previous song that he won several months back, he had some really good notes, and he had timestamps written in there like, hey, at this point, boost this. At this point, I'd like to hear this. So I'm sure I'm already going to get some great notes back. And the best feeling ever in the world, though, is when you send a mix off and you say, all right, I'm ready for the revisions. And they go, it's good. Nothing. I don't need nothing. So rarely ever happens, though. That happens a couple times in a row, and you start feeling like you're on cloud nine, and the next guy sends you 750 mix revisions. But that's all part of it. So Connor, hey, Connor just came in the chat. What is up, brother? This is the gentleman whose song we are actually finishing up today. So congratulations, Connor, and thank you so much for submitting an awesome song and for allowing us to use these multi-tracks within the VIP membership community. That's awesome too. So thank you so much for that. Let's go ahead and give it a listen to where it started. And we'll go to a portion here where the guitars have come in and everything's kind of guns blazing. So this is what we started with. Okay. And this is where we're at now. Come a long way, baby. So my wife did just walk through the door for lunch. So I'm going to be spending the next hour with her until I am able to hop back on here at 2 p.m. Remember, we're going to be listening to the September song submissions for the song contest and hopefully even picking a winner. So if you're looking for the Wheel of Awesomeness, that's going to happen on that stream, not on this one. So Connor, get ready, buddy. I'm going to be sending this over to you here shortly. Hopefully you're going to like it. Awesome. He says, love what you've done so far. Good deal. I'll be sending over this mix to you then, Connor, so that you have use of your 3 revisions, and then just send me back whatever you'd like for me to change and let me know. So until next time, well, I say next time, until 2 p.m., I'll see you guys all here in just a little bit. So enjoy the rest of your lunch break, and we'll see you then. God bless each and every one of you. Love you all.